fired up. Our guys did a good job this week in practice, and as you guys know, that's the biggest message for our team is we always want to control what we can control. What's our process? The opponent we play, that's not our focus. Obviously, schematically as coaches, we have to have answers. But for our players, it is about our process, man, our urgency, our performance in practice. Special teams coming out of the Oregon game, obviously a huge point of emphasis. Still a lot to grow in O&D as well, but it's no different. Hey, you want to be on kickoff, you want to be on punt, you want to be on one of these teams, you have to perform in practice. It's not, all right, you're not going to play on O&D, we'll put you out there. Any position to take that blue or any opposing field that we go to, this will be earned. And I'm proud of how our guys have handled that process this week. Got another practice tomorrow before we earn the right to cut a loose Saturday night. But without further ado, man, I got to thank Bronco Nation for 3 sellouts in a row. I mean, that is huge. Testament to our fans, testament to this fan base. We're the best fan base in the country. When you come out, come early, be loud, wear white, but can't wait. And obviously the goal JD's been talking about is 6 games, 6 sellouts. We got to handle our part of it by the product on the field, by how we play. But once again, Bronco Nation, thank you so much for selling these first 3 games out. We will be ready for the opponents that we play on that blue, and we're going to work our tail off to protect them.
How much do you guys feed off a sellout crowd?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, it's everything. I mean, game is a game. The game we play is a game of momentum. And when this place is sold out, when Bronco Nation is loud, I mean, there is not a louder stadium in the country. We played a lot of different places. Like, I believe that. When it's home, it's different. Our fan base loves their team different than anywhere else. So it's a huge advantage for us when we play teams on blue.
Coach, you guys have always said put the best 11 on special teams. Do you feel like you're able to accomplish that in the season, or sometimes in the circumstances that come up where maybe the math doesn't quite compute?
Yeah, Mike, it's a great question. You're always working to put your best in every phase, O, D, and then especially the 4 main special teams, and especially on your coverage units. You know, punt and kickoff. There's such huge plays in the game. So much yardage has changed. And so we looked at, obviously, all 4 of them, even from kickoff return and punt return. But you're always trying to find your best 11. You got to be smart with your guys, too. There's always a fine balance just with everything, okay? If a guy's starting on offense or defense, can he play on all 4? Can it be more 1 or 2? And it just a lot of it depends on the player, too, and kind of what position he plays on O&D. We're always looking to find our best 11. We've done a better job creating the competition amongst our special teams to where it's not just, okay, this is a really good backup, so he's going to play on special teams. No, that's earned. You could be a backup on O&D, but if you didn't earn it in our special teams drills and what Coach Collins does, like, you're not going to play. And we talk about value with our team too, and especially where, I mean, the roster's going to 105. Like, everything's going to start to get condensed. You have to bring value to be on this team. End of story. It's not a place where you can wear the backpack, eat the meals, and get tweeted at. Like, this is a place to work. This is a place to earn everything.
I don't know, you don't have to go into too specific as you want, but did you have to change any personnel on any of your coverage units?
Oh, we looked at it from top to bottom, absolutely. Like, we are putting our best out there that have earned it in practice, and we're going to evaluate it immediately after the Portland State game. Absolutely.
How when it comes to that too, I know that there's one thing like you guys want to. When young guys get out there, they can also want to do too much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
no question.
Slipping out of a lane or whatever it might be.
Yep.
So how do you coach that too, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, that's the intricacy of being a coach. Especially, we did play some young guys on special teams, and you need to. That's how guys do cut their teeth and earn the right to play more on special teams than potentially on offense and defense. So there's a lot of facets to it, and there's an understanding of, okay, just because he had one bad play in the game does not mean he's never going to earn the right to do it again. But as coaches, I mean, walking down the same path hoping for a different result is insanity, right? So we got to look at things and say, okay, what do we need to do different? Who needs to be on these units? No different on O&D, right? Every single game we're looking at, see, okay, who are our best 11 in all situations? And special teams, no difference. We got to look at it and see. And there are some guys that didn't execute the way we needed to, but they've had a phenomenal bye week and a great week this week. They're going to earn the right to go try it again, right? And then at some point, okay, where are we growing to? We are a developmental program. Where guys are to start the season, they cannot stay there. I'm with our developmental lift group all the time in the morning because I want to see how our guys are growing and developing. We have to. That is our lifeblood. We're not, all right, we have an issue here, we need to go to the portal or go get a junior college kid. Like, we need to develop kid as a freshman. And we've got this whole in season for some of these guys, like, they need to train and develop. So maybe some of the guys that aren't on teams right now or aren't helping, we need them to be ready week 9 though. Like, we need them to be. And so it's a fine balance as a coach to find those guys that either have the ability and haven't executed, to your point, Jay, maybe missed their lane or lost leverage, which happened in the game, and not just completely writing them off, but it's making sure we do have our best players on special teams.
I know you got the 2 buys, so it's a little different. Oh, yeah, important.
Oh, you're good.
The buy this early, would you have rather just gone back out and play? Did you like having the buy? And then
Yeah.
with the O-line, like how much did you have to give some reps to 7, 8, 9, 10 these last 2 weeks just in case something else happens?
Yeah, no question. With the bye, BJ, looking at it even preseason was a new thing for us, having such an early bye. So being ready for it helped. I knew some of the things that we were going to need to do as a team and as a staff, some adjustments with such an early bye. And so it was helpful for us. I think anytime you have a bye week, it's just how you handle the bye week is everything. Different than if it's a bye week 6, week 7, to where then you're really working to get guys healthy, build some depth, and kind of fine tune some of the things that you struggle with. So it was good. I mean, I would, if it was 1 bye week, you'd much rather have it later in the season. But with 2 bye weeks, I think it works out pretty well. And then obviously we got 4 games bye week. Then it's that last really 6-game stretch that we got to be ready for coming out of the second bye week. And then with your question, the O-line, BJ, absolutely. I mean, Coach Keenes does a great job rotating those guys in practice, 1s, 2s, rotate, because it's a unique group to where it's all about how you play together with those front 5. Like they have to be on the same page with how they check, all the IDs, and so getting guys intermixed is everything, so guys are working with each other, because we got to continue to build that depth. Feel good about where our guys are at, but we're going to need to build the depth as the season goes.
I beg for one more.
Yeah,
Spence.
yeah.
I wasn't here on Monday. I don't think you addressed it, but the status of Alexander Tubner. Yeah. What feedback were you given? How unfortunate is that? And how lucky you to have him, I guess, first half against Portland State?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, to be honest. It is what it is. Frustrating that it happened in a game. Once again, football is a game of momentum. Alexander Tubner is one of our best players. When he gets kicked out for a penalty that then they come back and say didn't happen, it is what it is, though. I'm not complaining about it. It happens. Everybody deals with that. It could go either way in certain situations. This one in game didn't feel like it was. It was called that way. That's the life we live. But very glad that they fixed it, and Tubes is going to be ready to roll out game. Start the first quarter.
Thanks, everyone.